Yo, yo, yo. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, guys? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How we doing? Congratulations to everyone who took Amazon into earnings. Um, Hell of a move, right? So is Amazon going to hold the market up? Apple, not so much, right? Let's see. I haven't even looked at Apple, but I seen what they did after hours. Yeah, we can see here Apple, put in that initial spike on the earnings, kind of sold off, put in these lows here in the pre-market today, also tested those lows, kind of cracked below a little bit. So 183.25 would definitely be the short position on Apple if the market go ahead and wants to roll over today. Other than that, Apple's got a lot of work to do. It's going to need to get over 188.92. It's going to need to get into 190.64 before we have any real potential upside, right? So just kind of looking at that. I was also looking at Tesla here. I kind of missed the boat on Tesla. We can see here because I was fucking dicking around with my Amazon calls trying to sell those at the market open. But if we look at the 6:30 a.m. candle here, we're over yesterday's highs, right? We're over yesterday's highs. We're over the pre-market highs, and when we broke the pre-market highs here, we put in a little bit of spike. Now pulling back a little bit, but I'd like to see this area hold here, the 263s. But from 263 all the way up to 264.72 was about $1 to $1.25, $1.50. Anyone looking to take an aggressive scalp could have definitely gotten in on that for a little 5-minute pop there. Now let's go over to the NASDAQ futures and kind of see exactly what we're doing here. So same thing here. You can see over yesterday's lows, over the overnight session lows here, and over the overnight session highs. Now we had a little bit of a setup here right off the before the bell at 5:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we went from a price of 487 all the way up to 585, right? So I mean, big move here, big move that you could have taken. But again, I don't know how many people were actually, are always looking to take trades, before the New York session on the NAS. One thing I'm looking at here, as we're over the overnight session highs as well as yesterday's lows here, I'm looking at, can we make the stretch here to 15.72s? So 15.721 is the area that I'm looking for. That's yesterday's highs. That's something that I'm going to see. Do we continue to push up into this zone? Since breaking the overnight session highs here, if we do come back down, there's no short position for me, even if we do lose this 20 SMA, just due to the fact that we've got support here as well as here. In order for me to really want to take a short position, I'm going to need to lose 15,401, right? So 15,400s, I'm going to need to see that get lost, and then I can maybe take my short position into the 15.3s. Again, going to let that digest just a little bit there and kind of see what we got. Early in the morning like this, kind of always scanning around. So if I do go silent for a minute, I've got the other screen over here where I kind of activate my options trades. Normally the first hour to 2 hours, I'm definitely playing a lot more options than futures. So just kind of bear with me there. Amazon essentially flagging in the after hours after the earnings pop as well as the pre-market here. So again, Amazon would need to lose the 138s, or it needs to break above the 143s to see any more potential upside here. Let's take a look at NVIDIA very quickly. Again, a lot of these popped right off the bell and now pulling back aggressively. So, how do you play these scalps, right? How do you play these scalps? You hear about them, you see people playing them, you see people making money, in the first minute, 2 minutes. What are they looking for, right? Here's my thesis, right? Because I play these a lot where, I'm getting in right off the bell, I'm selling within a minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then kind of just cashing out, right? So what you have to have a game plan, one thing, right? So as you have your game plan, you understand, right? First off, you need to understand whatever stock that you're playing, or index, or future, whatever you're playing, whatever asset you're playing, you have to kind of already know what is the average true range, right? So for example, on Nvidia, if I can make $1.50, and I say this, I feel like I say this every single day, you know, same thing for Tesla. If I get in 10 contracts on Nvidia or Tesla and I can make $1, I'm going to start selling half size. I $1.25 sell another contract, $1.50 I'm going to sell more. By $2 I'm normally out, just because I'm running out of contracts to sell. I don't really play too many, you know, I'm not playing like 50 contracts, right? I'm a realist. You know, I play 10 contracts, and yes, that can be a lot if the move goes against you. So for example, what happens a lot of times is that sometimes people will take this play because they see the aggressive move. So what they start to do is they start to buy here, or even they're buying here, and then, you know, once we confirm, they see the pop going up, and then boom, it pulls back, and now they're in severe drawdown, and they're kind of wondering, you know, what the hell do I do, right? So either they sell for a loss down here only to see it continue to rise all day, or whatever, you know. So the idea is that if you're going to take something over the previous day's level, right? So in this particular case here on Tesla, I mean on Nvidia, right? This is yesterday's high here, right? So the purple line is yesterday's high. That price is sitting at around 451.15, and you can also see pre-market high sitting at around 451.50. So the idea here is that if we make this pop and we get over the pre-market highs and over yesterday's highs, you get long, and then you're just looking for that one-to-one. So the one-to-one would be your $1.50, $2, and then you want to get the hell out. So if you look at the price that we actually put in, 451.50s, all the way up to a price of 454. So you're talking about $3 in a matter of 5 minutes. So is there a reason to continue to hold this? No. Obviously, you want to take your one-to-one, take your two-to-one, or take your 2R, and then just get the hell out, right? And then let it digest and do whatever it wants to do on the flip side. That's typically how I play those pre-market breaks. You know, you're not looking for much. Let's take a look at Meta. Meta, same thing, right? So look at the pop, the explosive pop on Meta, and I actually like Meta over the highs here, over 318, currently up $4. I don't like that, but this was a beautiful break here. The 315.88s all the way up to a price of 318. Hell of a fucking move. That's a hell of a move. Kind of keep Meta on watch here. Right now we're above all supply here. You know, looking to push higher. I'm actually going to check out the Meta contracts now. Hell of a move. So that's exactly what you would be looking for. Something like on Meta, you know, and I'll actually pull it up here. So if I go to add studies, right? Go to add studies here and go to all studies. I want to add the ATR, right? So what I'm talking about here, what I'm talking about as far as knowing where to, I don't think you guys can see it because it's down at the bottom, but what I did is pull up the ATR here. So we can see the ATR currently on Meta is about 90 cents, right? So 80 to 90 cents. So if you take a pre-market high break and you take 75 cents, 80 cents, 90 cents, just get the hell out. That's a 1R. Even if you're taking one contract, you're going to make at least close to $1 on that. You take two, you make $1 on it. You take five, you make $1 on it. So again, you know, on a scalp, have the mentality, you know, are you planning on holding this for a while? Then if that's the case, you want to see these highs, which is a 315.88 or 315.50 hold. You know, as soon as we break the 315 area and we lose a 20 period moving average, your bet is off, right? So if you're looking for the more extended move, maybe you're playing one contract and you're looking for the extended move, you're going to want to hold those. You're going to want to hold those as long as we're over these levels here, right? If you're looking for a scalp, you're just looking for that 1-2R, right? So you're looking for, you know, $1.50, you know, on Meta, you know, anywhere between, I would say on Meta between 70 cents and around $1.20, I think is very, very good. I think it's very, very good. Answer a couple of questions here in my Discord. And looking at the NQ here, NQ put in a little bit of a pop, put in those highs at around 15,584, pulling back down into its 20-day moving average here on a 5-minute time frame. Now again, you know, we're still over levels of demand here. We're still over those overnight session highs. We're over the overnight session lows. We're in the range here between 15,400s to 15,700. So it's a 300-point range. Again, why is the range so big? Well, you know, the last few days have been big bad monster moves, right? So here we go, pulling down back into these overnight session highs here, losing the 20. So that's one thing that we're going to need to really keep an eye on here. You know, do we hold this level? So one thing that I would be looking for is, do we hold this level, the 15,400s? You know, do we hold down in here between 15,414 and 15,440s? Do we hold this range, consolidate, and then bounce? If that's the case, I would be looking for moves back up to the upside here. Even though this is closing below the 20-period moving average, we've got too much support here. I've got too much support for my likings. What do you got on yours, Tony? What do you got on yours? Pre-market lines from yesterday? No. So what I'm going to have here, and I'll double check for you in a minute. I put these lines on the chart, I don't know, maybe about 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So they could have been adjusted when I went out to go get some coffee. But what I was looking at here is the orange lines are going to be yesterday's highs and lows, right? And let me actually zoom out and make sure I know what the hell I'm talking about before I start spitting shit that you guys is not correlating with you guys. So yeah, so what I'm looking at here, if I look at yesterday's price action, where the hell's Thursday at? So Thursday, here's the market open, 625. I think this line needs to be adjusted a little bit. High of 560 yesterday. High of 560. Oh, is that from pre-market? What are we talking about? NQ here? What are we talking about? Talking about the NQ? Make sure I got everything right here. NQ pre-market. Yeah, okay, let me see here. Let me double check everything. So this top line of 15,720s is Wednesday. So Wednesday's highs of 15,720. I'm actually going to leave that on there just due to the fact that if we do break, so if I look at yesterday's highs, Thursday, this is going to be starting from the pre-market here. We'll get into market hours. What time was this? 13. This is after hours. So we actually have yesterday's highs. Let's do another supply zone here. So we actually have yesterday's highs. What do you got around 15,526 midnight my time? So midnight my time here. Okay, so I'm looking at the 15,550s. Is that what you got? Around 15,550s. So what about the 15,526s? Yeah, 560, right around that area, give or take a few handles here. So 15,520s, do you have yesterday's highs as 15,520s? Let's just make sure I got everything right here. 15,520s, somewhere in that vicinity, give or take a few handles. I'm looking at around a time of around 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So whatever time zone you're in, take a look at that. Yeah, 526 is yesterday's. Okay, so that's what I got here too. I don't know if you can see it on my screen here, the 526s. So these highs here, we're going to take yesterday's highs. What do I have up here? This was Wednesday's, so that's perfect. That'll create a block there. So actually what I need to do here is let me look from today's now today's. So we're going to be working on Friday. So how about this level here, 15,560s? Is that what you said? Right, perfect. Yep, I missed it. So I had every chart other than the NQ fucking set up. Great, thanks for pointing that out. So we got the 15,560s here, that pre-market highs. I guess we could call it pre-market highs, right? Coming from the option side of things, you know, to the future side, my lingo is still off, right? So normally I would call shit pre-market highs. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I always call, you know, trading the options with the guys over there pre-market highs, you know, but being that the futures open 24 hours a day, you know, I've got guys that call it London session. Some people are just calling it the overnight session. Whatever, it is what it is, right? What I'm looking at from is Friday midnight. What is the fucking high price from Friday midnight into the market open New York time, right? So what I've got is a 15,560s, and then we're still going to look at those lows, which is going to be, yeah, see, this is yesterday's. Okay, so I didn't update that. And what do you have our lows at today before New York open? And we got about 15,400s. 15,400s, is that what you got on today's lows before New York open? It's a good pull here. It's a good pull here. Perfect. So I'm going to make this dotted. So normally what I do is just to kind of, for my eyes sake, you know, I make my overnight session highs and lows, or the pre-market, whatever we're going to call it here, London session. I usually make them dotted, and then I make my previous days, you know, either solid lines here. So what I still need is yesterday's lows on this chart, which is down here. So the 15,339, something like that. You know, give or take a few handles here or there. Boom. Now I think we're all set up. All right. Let's fucking rock. I mean, what else was I doing here? I was looking at all sorts of shit this morning. Meta, nice pop, pulling back now into the pre-market lows here. 313 on Meta. I'd like to see lose for a potential, you know, continuation there. Other than that, nothing there on that. Tesla pulled all the way back. And here's a point to make, right? Someone gets long first 5-minute candle off of Tesla. They have no idea to sell at a one, you know, at a 1-to-1, or, you know, like, again, you know, for anyone who missed it, you know, I take 10 contracts on Tesla. I'm looking to scalp $1, $1.52, and I'm out. You know, if you don't, and you're expecting this, and you got fucking blinders on, and you think this is going to just continue all day long, you absolutely got slammed here. So we're coming down into the pre-market lows on Tesla 259. You can see starting to wick up here, buyers starting to step in, also correlating with those pre-market lows. So again, I like this action right here. I like that action. I like to see Tesla hold. See, on something like this, for future reference, for all you guys who trade stocks out there, this is what I would be looking for here, to hold and then get back over this 20 period moving average, right? Get back into over yesterday's highs of 260.51, and then go long again for a continuation through the 264. That's what I would be looking for. If we do start to crack below 259, all bets are off. All bets are off. Same thing here with the NAS. Same thing here with the NAS. So if we got those 15,400 level acting as that overnight session lows, you know, we got the initial pop, first time rejection. And again, you know, anytime you're looking at the charts like this, you know, sometimes people feel rushed to take a trade because things explode out of the gates. And normally when you rush the process, you get your head whacked up against the wall, right? So when you get your head whacked up against the wall, then it lowers your confidence. This game's all about having confidence in your strategy and in your chart reading ability, and just being able to execute. So what I'd like to see is, I'd like to see it get down here into the 15,400s. I'd like to see it get down there and see if we can hold. Big reversals on everything all the way back down. 314 to 313. Qs, what are we talking about here? Q's highs was around 375.93. Q's lows 371.75. Q's pre-market 376.89. And the Q's pre-market lows around 373.10. So if we look at the triple Qs here, first initial pop, getting rejected at the pre-market highs, coming crashing all the way down. I'm looking for the 373s to hold here. Again, you know, big extended move to the downside. You know, I would need to close below. I would need to break 373 before, you know, we have a shot. You know, 371 would be testing yesterday's lows. Definitely, if you're short on the Qs, you want to be taking profits into 373. So entry on the Q short would have been through, you know, getting rejected here at the pre-market highs as well as yesterday's highs, losing the 20-period moving averages. Those are the three things that I would be looking for. Again, rejection, loss of short-term momentum. Then I'm looking for the confirmation below 374.45 into 373. I want to take profits there. So if you're short Qs, take some coin off the table. Last thing you want to do is expect it to get down to 371 and continues to just hold here and then bounce. But again, you know, if we do break 373, we've got a lot of room to the downside all the way to 371. So definitely keep that in mind. You know, normally it's the second move on the day that's the right one, right? So a pop off the open normally fades. A drastic drop off the open normally bounces. It's that second move, right? It's that second move that normally is the one, right? Now, it's not to say that you can't play the first move, because you definitely can. Someone could have, you know, an aggressive scalper, someone who's sitting here who plays the Qs, like I'm going to say someone who is a Qs trader, and you're looking at this level, you have a couple of things here that you're looking at, right? Yesterday's highs were over that in the pre-market session, or at least testing it, right? We're looking at the pre-market highs of 376.89. So what you could have done off the bell is aggressive scalper is going to get in off the bell here and push, you know, the price action from 376.30s all the way up to 377.30s, right? So, you know, there was $1 to be made here very, very quickly. But again, experienced scalpers only, right? You know, normally it's the newer traders who take these first moves, and the next thing you know, they're looking at the stock be down $2 from entry and wondering what the hell happened. So looking for the Qs here, 373.11. Any breakdown below that, any close below 373.11 with confirmation could be testing the 371s. Here's a first test. If you're not short currently, no rush here. Same thing with the futures. Hell of a play here, short, getting rejected at the overnight session highs, yesterday's highs. Entry on the Qs should have been somewhere around 15,457 down into this range here, 403. So definitely want to be taking profits into this range here now. And if you're holding multiple contracts, hold a runner. There's your breakdown. So anyone short Qs here, you want to be taking profits on the way down now. Anyone short on NQ, you want to be taking profits on the way down. Here comes your reversal bounce here. First crack was broken, so you put in your new lows through the overnight session lows here on the Qs, which would be your pre-market, or on the NQ if you're trading futures. So that's your first crack. You want to be taking profits. You want to be getting out of this here. It's a hell of a move already. So again, you know, if you are short on NQ or Qs, you want to be taking profits. Your first crack was broken here, and now you're looking at a little bit of support. You're looking at could be a potential bounce, so it could do something like this, right? And then come back down, and when we confirm the lows is when you're going to want to get short again with intentions of taking profits here. So make sure you lock in those gains. Again, do not be a greedy SOB. You know, price doesn't have to do what you want it to do. It's going to do what it has to do. Good pop there. Looking for this area to hold here. Could be looking at a little bit of a dead cat bounce here on the intraday 5-minute chart on the NASDAQ. Again, if we want to see more continuation to the downside, we need to lose the low wicks, okay? So don't try to get cute here. Good bounce here. Now, anyone who's an aggressive scalper, if you want to use the lows as a stop, okay, if you want to use the lows as a stop and try to reverse this bounce for a scalp off this demand zone, you can. It's a lower probability setup because essentially you're trying to time the bottom here, but as long as you have a stop loss, your trade is justified, okay? So I know a lot of times people are looking for the most perfect entry. You want the setups that are going to work 100% of the time. Well, let me tell you something. This is a stock business. It's not going to happen, right? Great fucking trade, Tony. You know, it's not going to happen, right? So, you know, I hate hearing that shit, that people want the strategy or some magic potion that's going to make you, you know, win every single one of your trades. It's just not going to happen. The whole idea here is to analyze price action, react, execute, and if you're fucking wrong, you need to get out of the stock, right? So look at this bounce off of the overnight session lows. Look at the wick here. Buyers have stepped in. Now, again, that doesn't mean we don't put in a new low, but what I'm trying to say here is that if you put an aggressive stop here, you could essentially try to catch the dead cat bounce. Now, again, it's a lower probability setup, yes, because essentially you're trying to time the bottom. That's never an easy thing to do. However, with the stop loss, you are justified. Why does it keep doing this? Sometimes I hate these prop firm platforms. They suck. Beautiful trade there, Tony. What time did you take that trade, Tony? Where are you at? Are you on Eastern time, Central time? What time zone are we working on here? So just so I can be clear with you. Eastern time. Perfect. What time did you take that short? Oh, you went long. Went long? Is that where you took the 21 ticks going long? Beautiful. 59-second chart, huh? You're a fast mover there. Use a 5-minute as a guide. Good. Do you play the minute chart to because you like the fast price action, or do you play it because it lowers your risk to the downside? Impatient, yeah. I used to be impatient too. I never really played the 5-minute chart. I've always kind of played the 1-minute chart. I've always played the 5. Sometimes with features I'll play the 2 because I don't like sitting for a long time. But a lot, yeah, it lowers your risk. So that's exactly what I was thinking, especially for guys who are trading futures and who are sizing up a little bit, you know. I don't know your position size, but it definitely lowers the risk. Yeah, it lowers the profit too, but if you can be, that's a thing. I never worry about profits. I never have, right? I never have, because over time it compounds. Over time your account size grows. Over time you add more contracts. Over time you make more money, right? So you like don't worry about the dollar amount so much. Just focus on the process. Focus on the process. Because with time that dollar amount will increase. As long as we're doing shit right as a trader, you know, getting out where we're supposed to get out, you know, taking profits where, you know, we have technical levels of demand or supply or resistance, whatever you want to call it. So look at this move here on the NQ, right? So the aggressive scalp, you know, using this bottom low wick here, as soon as we started to take out the top of this little baby candle here, 15,428, somewhere around that range, we put in an initial spike to 15,456. So, you know, almost 20 points here, 20 points and some change. A lot of times, you know, if you're taking this aggressive scalp, you get 10 handles, 15 handles, 20 handles, just get out. Boom. You did your job. Now, can this come all the way back up? Sure. Right. But who wants to create all that emotional stress? Right? Like that's a lot of emotional stress, especially for newer traders. Once you see that PNL go green and then it comes all the way back and now you're red, it's like, God damn, right? So a lot of traders start thinking to themselves, like, what am I doing wrong? You know, what am I doing wrong? Well, you're not doing nothing wrong. You're too greedy. That's what it is. You're looking for too much, right? Especially for your day trading or your scalping. I know it's flashy to hold the big moves all day and tell everyone on social media you made, you know, 5,000% on your trade, but be realistic. That shit's not going to pay the bills, you know, quarter after quarter, year after year. It's just not. If you're trying to make $1 million this week, you're going to fail. You're going to fail. And that's why a lot of times people, you know, they go through the cycle of, you know, the mental cycle. This is a mental battle. Learning technical analysis, supply and demand, learning strategies, that's easy. You know, that's easy to do. What's not easy is feeling like you can't get your feet under you, feeling like you're doing everything right and then you're still losing. Well, At that point in time, it's time to start looking at yourself. What are you doing wrong? What are you doing wrong? I'm not talking about your strategy. I'm not talking about the markets. I'm not talking about market makers. I'm not talking about liquidity. I'm not talking about none of that bullshit. I'm not talking about that technical crap. What I'm talking about is start looking at yourself. I tell people a lot, can you make $25 a day consistently? Can you even do that, right? If we're trading futures, can you trade one contract and make $25 a day? Can you take 5-10 handles, out of this market if you're playing ES? Can you take 20 handles out of the market, 25 handles if you're playing NQ? Can you do that every single day? If you can't, what on earth makes you think you can make $500 a day? What on earth makes you think you can do $1,000 a day? Because we're just looking for one big trade. The whole idea of this as a day trader is to be able to have a skill set where you can come into the market, pick your spots, and do it each and every single day. It's not about picking one trade that's going to change your life. One trade is really not going to change your life. Talking to the guys in my Discord real quick. So how we looking out there? How we looking out there? So again, here we go on this continued bounce here. Again, until we lose the lows, you have to be thinking that the bulls are going to step in and hold this price action until we lose these lows. If we lose these lows, look for the new low to be put in if you want to take an aggressive scalp here through, what is this price? 15,392. Again, our resistance is going to be up here right around the 15,490s. 15,490s is going to be a little bit of resistance here on the Qs. So definitely, take your profits if you are long, right? So here's what I try to tell people, right? Here's what I try to tell people. You see the down move into support, okay? Looking at 5-minute time frame. You see the new low being put in, right? Boom. You see the reversal starting to happen. So what we're looking at here is these highs to get taken out by this candle. Your money should be in this candle. So as we continue to push, it doesn't have to do anything. So if you start making money on the way up, take your profits. If you want to hold a runner, fine. Move your stop loss to a break even at least, right? Because this could do something like this, right? So again, don't be a hero, right? Don't be a hero, but this is how you catch a bounce. How do you catch a bounce? Look for the reversal candlestick. How do you catch a bounce? Look for prior areas where the market has stepped in and buyers have shown up. Look for areas of demand. Look for these type of candles. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. Don't make it more difficult than what it is. And it's all about execution. So start to execute in a manner where you're not hesitating, trust yourself. Trust yourself. Nice push here. If you are long off that bounce, make sure you take some profits here. Beautiful push there. Beautiful push. Entry should have been somewhere over 430s. We're currently trading at 469. 430s, 469, over 30 handles here, guys, in 10 minutes. If that doesn't fucking wet your whistle, I don't know what does. Does anyone on the live stream use Webull? I have someone in my Discord that's been having problems with Webull on fill times. Now, I use Thinkorswim. I use TD. I've never used Webull before, but has anyone heard that before? Has anyone had problems with Webull? Great push here on the Nasdaq. Has anyone had problems with it getting filled, even on market orders getting filled, or orders just sitting there not getting filled? Has anyone had or heard of any of those problems? It's like I don't have nothing against Weeble. I never have, but you know, the more I hear about these problems, you know, again, if someone's trading on Robinhood, you know, get your money off that. And it's like I've told people that have had problems with Robinhood, and it's like, for one thing, I don't know why you're using Robinhood, you know, to actively day trade. It's not an active day trading stock. Yeah, Sierra, yeah, Sierra is good. But it's like, you know, I don't understand why someone would be actively day trading on Robinhood. You know, I know Webull has a little bit of a better charting platform than Robinhood, obviously, but what I'm saying is like those platforms are not really meant for trading. Like they're just not. You know, like it's a waste. You're losing money on fill times. You're losing money on, you know, the spreads, the slip. Charting sucks. Charting sucks. And it's like, like people have even told me, it's like, well, all my money is in Robinhood. So what? Take it out and put it in a fucking broker or in a like a service of what the platform that's going to work. What does it matter? What does it matter if your money is in Robinhood or Webull? Who cares? Well, if I do that, it's going to take, you know, 5 days before it comes out, and I got to read the. We can't wait a week. So if that's the case, if we're that impatient to where we can't wait a week, 7 days to get our money off a platform that's literally screwing us, then why would we not? Why would we not? What, like, what's the problem? What's the rush? Yeah, I've heard that too, Tony. I don't know if that's still a thing. I mean, Rhythmic has always been okay. What do you what Putty for what are you on Weeble? You talking about Weeble putts? You talking about Robinhood? Don't tell me you're on Robinhood putts. Yeah, did you see what what Peng or who was it? Penguin, right? Did you see Penguin had a problem this morning? He's in the gold members chat. Penguin had a problem with Nvidia. He's been saying that too, so you know, we gotta get off that. You know, if you're having problems now, again, this is like the thing, you know, for futures traders, for futures traders, you know, people who are on TOPSTEP using TraderVate, some people never had any problems, right? Some people had no problems. Like even in the beginning with TOPSTEP and the TraderVate issues, I was seeing that you know, people were having platform issues, orders weren't getting filled, the platform was freezing, this, that, and the other. I never had any problems. You know, I never had no problems whatsoever. I was like, well, that sucks for them, right? Get a faster internet connection. Until I had a problem, right? And then as soon as I had a problem, you know, I had to switch the platform, because it's like, just like time is money. If you don't have a product that works right every single time, you got to find a product that works right every single time. So again, you know, I still know people who are trading on TraderVate and they have yet to had a problem. They have no idea what everyone's talking about as far as the TraderVate and TOPSTEP issues. They have no idea what anyone's talking about, and they're working just fine. So continue to work on it just fine. But like for the example of our buddy over here, Penguin, he's been having a lot of issues with Webull. And if you're having a lot of issues and it's causing you to lose money, you definitely got to get off of that. So we're still continuing to bounce here into the 20 period moving average. I would definitely look for some resistance in this zone, right? Again, I want everyone to kind of understand that these moving averages, they're not block walls. They're not concrete walls. Okay, so it doesn't have to touch it to a point, right? It doesn't have to touch it literally. It can go over, it can overshoot, it can fall just short. Think about it as like a rubber band. It's going to stretch and lean, and you know, so if you're long off this bounce, take profits. Definitely. If you want to hold a runner, that's completely fine. Move your stop loss to break even. What, who knows? Maybe this continues to run all day, takes out high of day, and you look like a freaking rock star. right? But again, take profits here. We have to take profits from supply to supply, demand to demand. So if we're going to take a bounce off of, and if you guys understand what I'm talking about, just let me know. Just give me a thumbs up. Just do something. Do we see why we would take this bounce here? Like, can we even acknowledge that there was a potential bounce here? Previous support, overnight session lows, reversal candlestick. Can we agree that this was an area for a bounce? Potentially where buyers were going to step in. Now, I'm sure there's a million other reasons. Why this is going to bounce. There's, there's liquidity sitting there. There's this, there's that, whatever, right? But based on how I trade, overnight session lows, previous area of support, reversal candlestick here. Okay, so we can agree that there was a potential bounce here. So what are we looking for on these potential bounce areas? I need a green to take out a previous red. In this case, even though this little reversal candlestick is green, this is red, right? The move was down. You would have to assume, you just assume that this is red, right? Because this candle never took out this candle. So this whole move here, even this green candle is red. So ignore this green, down, consolidation. Think about this. Marathon runner, he starts running his marathon. He stops off the side of the road to get a glass of water. This is just a pause candle. Red. Uh-oh, a little bit of a reversal here. We have to identify this. Green takes out red. Boom, we're in this move. So we take profits on the way up into the next level of supply. Okay, that's how we work this. And your short position on the NAS is going to be below 15,393. Amazon's continuing to push up higher here. If anyone's still holding runners on Amazon, 141.46, hell of a fucking move. Let's take a look at some stocks and see what we got here. We got Tesla flagging to the downside here. It's below all levels of demand here. Next support on Tesla is 251. So if Tesla starts to crack down below 257.25, might be worth an opportunity to take a little bit of a scalp there. Same thing on Nvidia. A little bit of a pop candle here, aggressive down move, flagging here to the bottom. If we start to lose 447.29s, might be an area of an opportunity there. Let again, just like in the example I gave with the futures, let red candle take out green and then take your attempt there. Use a 1-bar stop. So we've got to use a 1-bar stop system here. Your stop would be here. Your pivot would be here. You would be looking for an entry below that, and you would try to ride this move down. Again, in order for you to have really good follow through, you're going to need to get below the lows here, but there might be a little opportunity for a scalp here below, 447.12s, 447.15s down into like 444. So that's $3. Even if you can catch $1 on that, that would be fucking awesome. I'll be looking for the confirmation there, potentially there for a breakdown. I'll keep that on watch. Keep that on watch. What's Apple doing? Apple hanging out down here, not doing much. Apple just pitter-pattering down around pre-market lows. We did break the pre-market lows, 183.25. Never got any confirmation. It's not really doing nothing. Down 6 points on the day, 3%. And their earnings, I didn't feel were that bad. Google had a nice pop off the open, gave all earnings or all those gains away. Take a look at the ES for any ES traders. I got to take these lines off. These are old. Oh, shit. ES putting in a little bit of a double bottom here. So if I look at the overnight session lows on the ES, 45.13s, 45.14s. We look at those highs. Where did we open up at? The ES is reconfirming the 20 period moving average, guys. If anyone wants to put eyes on ES. So right now I'm just looking at those overnight session levels here. What I want to see is, you know, if we look again, it's kind of like the NQ, right? Look at the reversal candlestick. So remember on the NQ that this reversal candle was green. Look at the Q, and I said just picture it as red because it is red, right? Like it broke the previous lows, even though it got bought back up. But look at on the ES, it's red. So this reversal candlestick here, this candlestick will make you a shit ton of money. I will tell you guys that right now. This candlestick at a level of demand will make you money. Okay, it'll make you money for life. Add it to your tool belt. Add it to your tool belt. So the ES is confirming over the 20 period moving average here, coming off of a level of demand. We're going to have a little bit of supply here at around 45, 47s. If we can break that, if the ES and the spies, if the spiders can break the 45, 47s, we potentially got a little bit of room to run here. You know, that could really pick up the whole market. Start looking for some of these bigger names to start making these reversals as well. I need to see what yesterday's highs were. So we're over yesterday's highs. We're over yesterday's highs. And yesterday's lows. Yeah. ES is looking pretty strong here. So what we would be looking for on the ES is a confirmation of this candle or breaking back over the 45 47s, 45 50s. Your choice. Depends on how much confirmation you need. Again, how much risk do you want to put on the table? If you want to use a 1-bar stop, we're going to use a 45.35 as a stop here on a confirmation over this. So again, you would be looking at this as your hard stop here. You would be looking for this candle to close whatever this closes at, and then you need another candle to confirm those highs, and hopefully we break through the 45 47s and start to test this area here. Definitely, if you're trading multiple contracts, you want to be taking profits into this zone and then holding a runner to see if we can continue to break that. Again, anyone who took a bounce here, hell of a bounce. I think the ES is a good it's good to trade for people who are either just starting off, can't handle the volatility, or working on perfecting their craft. It moves a lot slower, your risk is a lot less. For all of you guys who like the rush, it's all in the NQ, right? I mean, this thing flies around, you can make a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money. Just keep that in mind. The only reason I went to, honestly, when I came over to the future side of things a couple years ago, is because I was always a high beta trader, so I always trade big tech, and I would follow the Qs anyways. So it was only natural for me, because I was familiar with the charts, familiar with the price action, to trade the NQ. If I had no background in trading big tech, then I would have definitely started with ES. Looking for a confirmation here. This candle is a big candle here. 15,512. Your stop loss would have to be between 15,463. This is a huge, risk here to put on. Again, you know, on a setup like this, you need to size way down. On a setup like this, you need to size way down. Because if this move fails, like again, like we've already discussed, your entry should have been here, somewhere around 15,431. That should have been your entry. 430s should have been your entry for this reversal. So now we're kind of chasing this move again. You know, we're not, the NAS is not definitely out of the water. Look at the down move. Look at the flag being created here, right? So if we start to break down this previous low candle on the 5-minute chart, we're going to be coming back down to 15,403. So that's why I'm recommending, you know, for anyone out there trading, you know, definitely size down on a setup like this, because you're going to need a lot of market help to continue to push this up. We're going to be running into supply at the 520s and the 560s. That was a 70 something point, 80 point bounce. Did anyone take that? Did anyone take this bounce off of demand? I took it, but I took it for chump change. I sold in this candle here. 7:15 Pacific Standard Time. I sold in this candle. I only took about 20 points. Damn, that was a hell of a bounce. Again, we're going to be running into supply here at 15,526. So Amazon's still continuing to run. Did anyone play Amazon? 5 points on that bounce. I'm all right. Yeah, hell yeah. Keep taking it. That's what it's all about. Pick your spots. Build yourself a day. Piece together a day. And then come back and you took 20. You took, Tony, you took about 25 points off the market today. What do you normally like to stop at? Hundred ticks, yeah. Oh yeah, base hits is the way to go. Identify a setup, get in, take your money, get the hell out. Identify a setup, get in, take your money, get out. So anyone who's looking at this play here, even though this play confirmed, look at where the supply zone is here. You know, they ran us right into supply here again, like I drew. You know, I don't really play chart patterns, but I mean, this is textbook, right? What does that look like? Right now, we're still waiting 25 points. Right now, what we're waiting for here is, can we confirm? Can we continue? Can the Bulls do it? Do the Bulls have any juice, right? Do the Bulls have any juice? Everyone's happier when the market's going up, right? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. Everyone, it seems like the sun shines brighter when things are moving higher. Everyone's so much more relaxed and calm. Nobody likes red days. Nobody likes choppy days. Even though, you know, as a trader, you can make money long, short, it really doesn't matter. Someone could make, you know, $10,000 on a red day, on a choppy down red day, just shorting, and they're still pissed off. You know, people only like when things move higher. I guess because it probably, you know, as humans, we are so accustomed to, we have to win, right? We need to win. We need to win. We need to win. And even though if we win trades on a down day, looking at the candlesticks and looking at the overall market be red is still like, it registers to us as a loss. I feel like it's 20 degrees hotter on a green day. Market losing a little bit of steam here. Losing a little bit of steam here. Tesla continuing to pull back. Tesla just lost the lows. Tesla making new lows. 250, 252 is the next support on Tesla. You have NVIDIA getting snagged at pre-market highs and yesterday's highs as well. That's going to need to break out of that. AMD looks pretty good. AMD's up 2.5%. So even though AMD has not taken out the day's highs yet, 116.86, big pullback into rising support, a little bit of a break, retest, and can we continue this trend? Can we continue this trend over 116? Tony, do you play micros or you play minis? Watch for the pop here over yesterday's highs on the NQ. That's what I'm looking for here. Yeah, commissions, yeah. Yeah, are you trading personal account, or are you trading prop firm? What's your standard sizing? How many micros are you playing? Oh yeah, it always does, right? It always does. Perfect. That's perfect. That's how you build a foundation, you know. Build a foundation one contract at a time. You know, make $1,000, make $2,000, increase it to two. You know, fall back below that benchmark, take it back down to one. That's how you slowly build up being able to handle bigger size. Like everyone wants to trade minis. Everyone wants to trade multiple contracts because you can make so much money. And then as soon as that trade goes against you, they don't know how to handle it because emotionally you haven't been there before. Like I said, if you can't make $25 a day, what makes you think you can make $250 a day? If you can't make $250 a day, what makes you think you can make 500? Looking to see if we can push through the what is this, 526s. We need to push the 526s. That's yesterday's highs. I'd like to get over that area here, see if the bulls got any sort of juice at all. What I don't like here is that the 20 period moving average is flat to declining, showing me that we're losing a little bit of steam here. You know, really need to push over the 526s. So if I pull up another view here, looking at the 200 period moving average, look how the yellow line here, maybe I should change that, but the yellow line across the screen, that's a 200 period moving average. It's extremely flat. So this is normally what you want to see. You want to see a flat 200, and then you want to see price action explode through over or under on this 200. But we have the 20 period moving average below the 200. So typically this is more bearish price action movement here. You might see more aggressive moves to the downside, and the moves to the upside are going to be halted a little bit until we can kind of get this price action over. Like I said, 15,526 is the area that the NAS needs to take out if we want to have any type of follow through here, or else this is just a dead cat bounce and we're going to be trading at 15,400s come the end of the day. You know, we'll give up, you know, 100 points here on the NAS in no time if we cannot clear out this level. So be patient. Right now, it's all about waiting, right? So it's not about where can I take a trade? What should I be sitting in? Wait. There's no setup right now. Your setup already came off of the 15,403 level. That was your setup already. We look like we're going to go down to the downside if we continue to break this flag here. It's all about waiting, and then once we have a setup, then we can attack. But until we have a setup, it's all about waiting. Nothing we can do about it. Meta sitting down here at pre-market lows 313. Meta starts to confirm 312.75. We've got some room to the downside here. Meta 312.75. Amazon testing the earnings highs here, 142, 143, 142.95, 143. Amazon continuing to run. What a monster move, huh? Apple still sitting down here at pre-market lows. Tesla trying to reverse here off of the new lows. 256.51 is the low here. So we're up $1 from the lows. We're still below all levels of supply. We're below the 200, below the 20. Nvidia making a push up towards pre-market highs here. We need to get over 451.50. Again, if we can get over 451.50, I'm interested in taking a bounce on Nvidia here. Over 451.50, I'm interested. I need this candle to close over that area, and then I need to get a confirmation, and I'm interested in taking some calls here. Right now, we're trading over the 200 or over the 20 period moving average. We're approaching these two levels of supply here. Let's push. Let's get the bulls some firepower here. Let's get the bulls some firepower and see what we can do. See if we can make a little money on this Nvidia here. Definitely going to keep this on watch. So we got 2 minutes before that candle closes, so there's nothing I can do now other than wait. S&P still look good here. That reversal on that from 450, right? 449.50s all the way up to 451.30s. Hell of a move there on the SPYs. So what did the ES do? Hey Tony, do you ever trade the ES just because of the lower risk there for you? Also, what is everyone else trading? Is everyone else a futures trader in here? Are we trading options? What are we looking at? Small caps. You guys, some of you guys still playing AMC and GameStop. What are we doing here? What do we got? Yeah, I hear that. Looking for ES to get back over 45.47. NQ making a push here. NQ making a push here. Trying to get back into that channel here of yesterday's highs. Trying to break yesterday's highs. Done. So took a quick 10 points here on this last one. Nothing much. Playing small size here. So this candle here that got us back over the 20 SMA and closed right at that 200. That entry price was 15511, somewhere in that range, 15512. So I got long here, got stuck in the pullback, was using a 1 bar stop, like I said, on very, very small size. Consolidated on my ass for 10 minutes and then popped. So I just took profits into 526. So it was like 10 points. Nothing to write home about, nothing to be too crazy about. But again, like it's all about, you know, find those areas, pick your spots. Again, I'm going to preach it until I'm blue in the face. If you can't make $25 a day, what makes you think you can make $1,000 a day? Come into the market, do it for 20 days. Do it for 20 days. If you can make $25 to $50 for 20 days, I don't care if it takes you 40 days to do it. I don't care if it takes you 35 days to do it. I don't care if you do it for the next 20 days in a row. Make $25 to $50 and call it a day. Let those gains compound, okay? Let those gains compound, and then size up by 1 contract and do the process again. So instead of shooting for $25 to $50, now maybe we're shooting between $40 and $70. And if we can do that on 10 contract, or excuse me, we could do that on 2 contracts for 20 days, regardless if it takes 35 days, it takes 40 days, doesn't matter. When we do that again for 20 days and we show that we can be consistent with cutting losses and consistent with taking that amount of profit, we size up again. That kind of slow rolling process will allow you to size up, allow you to compound, allow you to start making more money. You want to start making the big money, you got to know how to make the small money first. Or else emotionally, you will never be able to handle making large sums of money, because you'll never be able to handle the losses when you're trading that much size. So the thing that everyone doesn't want to understand is that they don't want to take the time. They don't want to take the time. And like I kind of touched on yesterday in yesterday's live stream, is that, you know, everyone wants to race to make this big money, but it's like, it takes traders 2 years, 3 years. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself. It takes traders 2 years, 3 years before they're able to be profitable. Why is that? It's because however long it takes you, it might only take you 6 months. It might take you 3 months. It might take you 3 years. However long it takes you to actually figure out how to do this and be consistent and handle emotions and perfect your strategy and know how to turn the computer screen off when you're up on the day, know how to turn the computer screen off when you're down on the day, that is what allows you to make the big money. So if you can't do that, you know, you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's normally when either people lose all of their money and they say, okay, what do I need to really do here? Is when they start looking at their imperfections and their problems, right? Everyone's problems are different. Everyone has different emotional problems. Everyone has a different emotional attachment to money. It's like, that's why you ever hear, or maybe it's happened to some of you guys before, but like when people just start trading, they get lucky and they make money and they make money. Either we're in a bull run or we're in a bear run, doesn't matter, but they come into the market, they don't really know too much. They're buying what everyone else is buying. They're making money. And then when it comes time to actually start trading, when the market conditions change, they don't know what they're doing because they never learned. So they had no attachment to that money. They came in with a small little amount of money and they got lucky and they made a bunch of money, but they never actually learned anything. So by the time it comes time to where you actually have to do this and you actually have to have a skill set, you start losing and you lose and you lose and you lose because you never learned. I'd rather take someone trading 1 contract who can, I would rather, and I have big plans that are coming in 2024 for me here personally, but you know, a little inside bit. I'm working on getting a local trading room floor, right? I've got a couple of guys that I trade with pretty actively, and you know, we're just gonna get an office together. We're gonna get going. We're gonna do some live streams where we're going to, you know, from pre-market to market close, you know, just record the room so you can see the real emotions, you can see the real call outs, you can see all this, that, and the other. But the point I'm trying to make is that if I look at myself as, which I'm not, right? But if I look at myself, I put myself in this scenario where if I'm running a trading floor with traders under me, I will take the guy who can come into the market and take $50 out of the market each and every single day than the guy who's sitting there trying to make $1,000 a trade. I will take that guy 10 times out of 10 times over the one guy who has some big windfall where he gets lucky on a trade because he's sized in 15 contracts, 15 mini contracts, and he gets lucky and makes $4,000 in a day. I will take the guy that can make me $50 a day consistently, and when he loses, he just stops trading on the day and he comes back tomorrow. I will take that guy 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. Here we are breaking yesterday's highs. Next supply on the NQ is going to be 560s, and then we would be looking at the 580s. But I will take the guy who can be consistent, because that guy who can be consistent can be scaled. The guy who is trading 10, 15 mini contracts, the guy who's trading 20 options contracts, 50 options contracts at a time because, you know, one good setup he can make this amount of money, is not reliable. He will lose all my money. He will lose all of his money. He will be out of the game in 1 or 2 years. I want the guy who can steadily grow and we can scale. It's all about scalability. If you can't scale, you're no good to me as a trader. If you can't handle your emotions, you are no good to me as a trader. And that's how everyone needs to look at themselves. Look at yourselves as, if you were a trade floor manager, if you were running a hedge fund, if you were running an investment firm, if you were running whatever, I don't care whatever you want to fucking look at it for, you know, however you want to look at it, you know, put yourself in that situation. If I managed clients' money, I like to put myself in that situation all the time. So for example, on these futures, I trade for prop firms. I have like 3 different companies that I work for. I got a few $100,000 in funding, right? Which is it's not really, it's, you know, whatever the drawdown is. So for example, I've got a few $50,000 accounts here. I've got a $50,000 account there. I even got a couple $25,000 accounts there. I probably manage $10,000 to $15,000 of drawdown. That's what I manage. So what I'm saying is that if you put yourself in that mentality where, let's say you're running an investment company, a firm, a hedge fund, whatever, you're managing clients' money and you manage $1 million. Are you just going to take stupid trades every day? Or are you going to try to gradually make, you know, 1%, 2% a month, 3% a month? You have a great month, you made 4%, great. Or are you just going to try to, oh, well, these clients, you know, gave us $1 million. Let me go ahead and put $500,000 up on a trade because I can make $200,000. That's stupid. You lose one trade, you get blown out. You lose 2 trades. I mean, think about what would happen if you guys, like, for example, some of you guys who trade prop firms, let's just say you work for an investment firm where you started the job and they gave you $100,000 to manage. Right? They gave you $100,000 to manage and they say your drawdown is 4,500 or 4,000 or 3,000. Okay. And you blow that account up in a week. Are you still going to have a job? Are you going to have a job? You're not going to have a job. So why don't you treat it as a real business instead of trying to get rich quick? Why don't you, if you manage $100,000, let's talk prop firm here. If you manage $100,000, you have $3,000 worth of drawdown, right? So what's 1% of $100,000? $1,000, right? What's 2%? $2,000. What's 3%? $3,000. So why not aim to make $1,000 to $3,000? Why not aim to make 1% to 3%? Why are we trying to make $10,000? Because we manage, because you have a prop firm account that has $100,000. That's bullshit. They give you all of that leverage, quote unquote, so you blow yourself up. Start taking these prop firms to the cleaners. Start taking them to the cleaners. Why do you think these companies run sales and they change the rules and they make it so much easier? It's not better for you. It's better for them so they make more money. We're approaching the 560s on the NQ here. Like, for example, if I can give a trader $100,000 and he can return me $1,000 a month, I'll take 10 of those guys all day long. All day long. Because at that point, I can sit on my ass and I know my trader is going to bring me 1% a month, 2% a month, and it's going to bring me in net positive $10,000, $20,000 a month. That's $100,000 a year for not doing shit. That's $200,000 a year for not doing shit. I don't care about the guy who's going to make me $15,000 on one trade, but the next month he's going to lose it all and be in drawdown 10%. It's crazy. That's crazy. Look at the bounce off of this level here. What did we talk about? I don't know how long ago this was, about an hour ago. Potential bounce here. What are we looking for? Green, take out red, right? Reversal candlestick, get long, sell into supply, hold a runner, sell into supply, hold a runner, sell into supply, hold a runner, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the RTY is cheap as well. Look at the move. This is what I mean by look at the charts. It's in front of your face. I tell my guys this all the time. Look at the charts. It's in front of your face. We already analyzed this trade. Yes, big down move. Yes, we established that this was a bear flag. However, if we can break out, potentially have some room to run. Never even got close to stopping us out. If that was our stop loss. You know, if that was our stop loss. And my dumbass sold here. That's the thing. I'd rather be consistent than to hit this home run, because I will catch another trade. Boom. Here was another trade here that I took into supply. And it's like, and here, this is going to touch the 560s. And here's another thing to think too. So let's say you missed this bounce, right? And then you've seen this setup and you took it, right? Like, because this was a second trade that I took and I sold on this candle. And now you're looking at this confirm again. If you're chasing it, think about this. This is jumping off the first floor. This is jumping off the 5th floor. This is jumping off the 10th floor. Do you want to sprain your ankle here? Do you want to break your leg here? Or do you want to break your neck there? Because if this pulls back, you're going to get killed. So also think about that as when you're trading. The higher up you start chasing the original move, the higher the likelihood of you crashing down. Again, that's why we want to protect ourselves, right? So because here's another thing too. Strategies is all relative, because we can look at these candlesticks a million different ways and we can have technical reasons for why we want to take the trade. So for example, over 15,526, I could technically say I'm taking this trade because we're reconfirming or reclaiming previous day's high. Okay, so previous day's high got broken here. Boom. I can set a 1-bar stop or use the 200 period moving average as my hard stop. I can take the confirmation and I can sell into the next level of supply. Is that trade justified? 100%. 100%. But just understand the original move came from down here. Okay? So if this trade fails, if this long trade fails here, getting back over 15,526 and starts to come down, and you get stopped out or take a loss, don't be upset. You're jumping off the 15th floor. The chances of probabilities being in your favor get slimmer the farther away from the original move we were. Tony, you were stopped for a loss? Oh, beautiful. You're at 30 points today. Amazon's trading at 143.27. Wow. AMD's trying to break high of day near 119. AMD did break high of day. 117. Pull back here on AMD. Tony, would you run a trailing stop on that? Beautiful. Tesla can't get out of its own way. Still below all levels of supply. You have the 20-period moving average crossing below the 200 now. There you go. That's a good way to do it. Tesla can't get out of its own fucking way. Amazon pulling back off high of day 143.60s. Support on Amazon is going to be around 142. Again, if anyone's chasing Amazon up, 14 points, you're out of your mind. You need to pull back. So there's the NQ, came close to testing that overnight session highs at the 15,560s. Again, our high on the day was 15,583, pulling back here. So we broke previous day's high, pulling back into previous day's high here. If we can hold this and we can break 560s, good shot that we start testing the 80s on the NQ. But again, until we take out the high of day, this is just a dead cat bounce. We still have the short-term moving average trading below the 200. So, your moves and your pulls to the downside are definitely going to be a lot more quicker and violent than your pulls to the upside, even though the NQ is up 90 points on the day. Where you stand technically is still can be controlled by the sellers. We have to get out of the overnight session range. We've got to get over 560. I do love that we did hold this area. Yeah, this is the top of the range. And then also to kind of look for price action to start drying up closer to New York lunch hour. Again, you know, it's Friday. A lot of people start pulling money out of the market. People don't like to sit long over the weekend on stocks. So, you know, volume you can see is starting to dry. You know, we got basically three trades today. If we really kind of recap the NQ, that first trade was getting rejected at those session highs, pulling back into the 20 period moving average, losing that area, and then that, you know, from like the 15,450s down into demand. That was a hell of a short. We obviously spoke about the bounce a couple of times. This was a second play that should have been taken, and then reclaiming the 200 and the 20 over that 15,512s into the next area of supply was the next trade. So potentially three trades. Nobody should be getting chopped up today. Nobody should be down significantly. The moves have been pretty clean. They're not the most drastic, right? They're not the most big. You know, it's not like the market's running in one direction all day. We're essentially still trading with inside of a range. However, you know, you got to love the ranges. You know, you're buying at the bottom of the range, you're shorting at the top of the range. You're buying at the bottom of the range, you're shorting at the top of the range. You won't know, you know, you can stop doing that once you get taken out. So once we break the bottom of the range, okay, all bets are off. We're not buying the bottom of the range anymore. Once we take out the top of the range, okay, we're no longer shorting at the top. We are playing the longs, but you know, no one should be losing massive amounts of money on a Friday. So regardless, if you're red on the week coming into a Friday, we minimize that red by taking good setups and or sitting on our hands until we get a setup. If you're green on the week and you're coming into a Friday, if you don't make a little money or maybe you lose a little money, but you're still green on the week, it's time to chop it up and we come back next week. You know, we don't want to be trading late on the day on a Thursday. Like I'll probably take a break, you know, for like 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'll come back like the last couple hours of the market and kind of see, you know, if we do anything. But there's no real urgency here to push on a Friday. There's no sense of urgency to push on a Friday. You know, let's see what the 2-minute chart is doing. 2-minute chart pulling right back into this 20 period moving average here. And we had a couple of setups here on the 2-minute, 722 setup, and that essentially ran from 464 all the way up to, that was a hell of a move. Oh yeah, that'll get you away. Get you away, get your eyes off the screen, decompress a little bit, and then come back. Yeah. Oh yeah. If we have a late day pool, 256.50s on Tesla would be the spot. 256.50s if we have a late day pool. Tesla hasn't done anything today. Keep that on watch. 256, what is it? 256.50s on Tesla to the downside. I'm looking at this spot here. Tesla hasn't got out of its own way all day. Pop rejected at pre-market highs, came crashing all the way down. We're trading below all levels of supply here, all levels of demand, you know, below the pre-market lows here, kind of just treading sideways. I would really need to see Tesla get back over 260.51 to have any interest in it, or the loss of 256.50s. Again, sit on your hands until something happens. Wait for it. Be the king of waiting. You're going to make a lot more money. Nvidia is still battling with the pre-market highs and yesterday's highs. AMD hanging out at the top here. AMD was a hell of a move. So I want to point out something here on AMD. Look at the pop off the bell. If you miss this pop off the bell and then you watch this big reversal candle here, this big red candle pulled right back into previous days. Is this previous? Yeah, previous days highs and the pre-market highs pulled right into the 20. We would be looking for this to hold. And as soon as green takes out red, we go long. So the entry on the video was around 115.50s into 117.50s. That was a $2 move. Hell of a bounce play there. I would take profits. You get $1 on AMD, I would take profits. $1.50, I would take profits. That was a great move. Big pop, break, retest, boom, go. Take out the high of day, and I'd be taking profits on the high of day. That's how you play those. So start identifying those. Like as you're back testing the charts, start looking at charts and seeing, you know, where could you have gotten in? You know, what was the best potential for you to make some money, you know? Because a lot of people are going to miss this move, right? Like if you weren't sitting on AMD in the pre-market waiting for this move, you missed that. So instead of chasing it, see if we back test the original breakout spot. And if we do, when green takes out red, you get long. Or when green, when green takes out the red, you get long. Use a 1-bar stop. Use a 1-bar stop. That's how you protect yourself. It's all about protection. It's all about protection, because the easiest thing to do in the market when you're trading is let a winner win, right? We don't have to do anything on that. And if we protect ourselves with 1 bar, for example, here, we protect ourselves with 1 bar, we're going to get 1 bar, we're going to get 2 bars, we're going to get 3 bars, we're going to get 4 bars, we're going to get 5, we're going to get 6. So we risked 1 bar here for potentially 6, right? Or where's the last one? This break over this. If we use a 1-bar stop, enter here over the break of all of this consolidation, right? 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars. So we took 4 bars and we risked 1 bar. That's how you stretch the winners. That's how you stay in the game. If we're only risking 1 bar, now again, all bars are going to be different. Sometimes your bar might be 50 cents worth of risk. Sometimes your bar might be $1.50 worth of risk. But if we're taking multiple bars and we're only ever risking 1 bar, we will be in the game. Are you going to get stopped out? Sure. Of course you're going to get stopped out sometimes. Of course you're going to lose some trades, you know? But that's how we protect ourselves. You've got to protect yourself. It's not about winning every trade. It's about protection and preservation of capital. Preserve your capital so you can be in the game. So look at this, look at the NQ here. Once we broke the highs, came into the next area of supply, pulled right back into the highs. Now we're consolidating. If we can hold this move and start breaking the 560s, there's a potential one last little leg here that we can catch on the way up. Patience is key, guys. Stay patient. Stay patient. Stay patient, guys. You're not missing anything. All the charts kind of look the same. Big pop off the open, pulled all the way back down to the pre-market lows, and everything's on a little bit of a dead cat bounce. Everything pretty much looks the same. Everything looks the same. Big pop off the open, Microsoft all the way back down. A little bit of a bounce here. Microsoft had a little bit of a setup there. If anyone took Microsoft, be looking to take some profits here into the 333. Had a little bit of a setup down here at 332. So you got a dollar move on this little bounce here. The reclaim of the 20 period moving average at 750. So about 30-40 minutes ago. Take the dollar. Take the dollar. No need to stretch it. Take the dollar there. Take the dollar. Let's see if Tesla can get back into this pre-market zone here. It's got a floor at 256.50s. It's a $2.50 stop if you use the absolute lows. If you use a one bar stop, 257.91, you're giving yourself about $1.50 on this potential bounce. Again, underneath supply here. It's going to be a longer play. You need this to have this set up a little bit for you. I might take an attempt here at small size. I'm going to go small size on Tesla. And when I mean small size, I mean small size. Because we're still below a lot of levels of supply. So what are we trading at? 259. If we go $257.50s are running around $200, or the 260s are running 89. Price target on this would be 260. If we can get back into this pre-market low channel here, I might consider using a one bar stop around 250, 257.90s here. We could probably take the 257s. $257.50s. This would be looking at a stop here. Again, very choppy sideways barcoding action here. But this is the first close back over the 20 SMA and testing, getting back into this channel of pre-market. Again, lower probability setup here, small risk, protect yourself. Playing with house money here on the Amazon earnings cash, so wasn't my money to begin with. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to take a little break here. I'm going to take a little break, probably jump back on a little bit later. To everyone that is still in the room, make sure to like the video, help this live stream get out to more people. Again, Friday, taking it very, very easy today. We don't need to push it today. But stay safe out there. Make sure you guys lock in those gains. Also protect yourself. Make sure you don't, over trade. There's no reason to sit here, fiddle fucking around all day trying to take trade after trade after trade after trade. If you're green on the day, consider stopping. If you're a little red on the day, it's all right. It's all right. Every day we get better. Here's my Tesla trade already starting to work here. Looking for 259.75's push here. Again, 1 bar stop at 257.93's. That's what we'll be looking for. But again, yeah, there you go, buddy. Go out there, make some more cash, right? Keep the money rolling in. Just keep the money rolling in. Make a little money here, make a little money out there, make a little money here, out there. Perfect. All right, guys, enjoy your weekend. Have a good one. Make sure you guys stay safe.